Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
From the beautiful city of Abuja, it is my pleasure to warmly welcome you to this week's edition of Money Radio, talking about the transportation segment of the program on Leadership TV. Today we are discussing a topic that says matters arising as Nigeria Air receives air transport license. Matters arising as Nigeria Air receives air transport license. We have been waiting for this license for a long time because Nigeria Air has been a long time promise airline, so to speak, and Nigerians have been eagerly awaiting it. We were promised that by April we will have the airline operating. April came and passed, but at least we have something at least to show in June. And in the studio to discuss the topic with me is Ejike, our transportation aficionado. Ejike, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I'm your host, Case Hammond. Nigeria Air receiving air transport license. What is it? What is the significance? What are we looking at here?
There's nothing. It's you, people like you that will be jubilating that you received a certificate. It's just like a process of setting up a company and becoming ready for operation. Now, this is just one of the, according to the NCAA that gave the certificate to Nigeria Air, this is one of the stages. According to them, they say there are about 5 stages. So this one is part of the stages. There are other things they need to do to operate, which include bringing in of the aircrafts, finishing up with the, you must have an airline, like fully operational aircrafts before you can start flying. It is just like a certification that you are now allowed to fly. Like a radio, let me use a typical example of a studio. When you have a license to operate a radio studio or TV station or this broadcast, you now come back and keep your license and you start fixing up the studio. You understand? So, which means you have been given permission to fly. You have to finish up the remaining part of the day. As we speak now, Nigeria does not have an office that we know of. They say they have one office somewhere they are fixing it up, but we've never seen it.
You know, as you say this thing, it carries weight. When you say
Yeah.
Nigeria Air does not have an office,
Yes.
because of the person that is saying it.
Yeah, of course. I'm telling you, it's a fact. They are still operating. I think it's part of the process, just like I said. It's part of the process. So they need to fix up other part of it before they can fully operate.
So
Remember, sorry to cut you. Remember that we've been promised that to fly last year, this year, February, July, all
I
this long
remember
story.
April.
Uh-huh. So now we are saying we have ATM. What is the significance?
And you are saying this is the first of 5 stages.
This is the third, actually.
The
according to
third
them.
of the
I
5.
think the first has to do with creating the name and the logos and all those things. But they say this is just one of the stages. You have to finish the process. And I'm telling you now that finishing it will include bringing in the aircraft, setting up your office, and one other certification, and you don't be fully ready to fly. You of course, you go to the airport and you officially launch it. People will see the plane. You may not have an office. We may not know your office, but at least we are supposed to see the plane branded Nigerian Air.
You know, I beg to disagree, Ejike. If you are bringing plane, you must at least have an office first.
No, I say we may not know. We may not know because somebody can hear this and say no, but of course we are operating for here now. So they may choose not to tell us for now. Maybe they are waiting for that final stage to tell us, okay, this is our address. Because this event happened at NCA headquarters in Abuja.
Yes.
So when I talk about office, I want us to be clear about it. Nigeria Air for now does not have a fully operational office. Maybe they are setting up the structure. And I believe before the plane is ready to fly, we'll see all these things. But it's not, what I'm trying to say in essence is that it's not Hure yet. It's just one of the stages. So we were trying to get an accurate date or time for the fully ready plane to start flying. And even the acting managing director of the Nigerian DAPO, Captain Mr. Dakbo, and even the NCA man, Musa Nuhu, refused to give us an accurate date.
You know, I read a story you wrote in Leadership
Yeah.
talking about some of the things being done
Yes.
to have Nigeria Air in the skies. And the official who spoke said, and I want to paraphrase him, I can't quote him, but I'm paraphrasing him.
Yeah.
He said, purchasing of aircraft is being done in European countries
As we speak.
as we speak.
Yes. The process is ongoing.
Yes, I don't know if I'm quoting him or paraphrasing him, but
No, but
at
of
least
course that's
that
what
is what he said.
So that's part
Any
of,
sign of that?
yeah, that's part of the, that's why I said we should not be, with this kind of thing. If somebody hears we now have air transport licenses, it will look as if maybe tomorrow you will start seeing the planes flying. We need to understand that it's a process. As we speak, Mr. Dagbo, who is the acting managing director, said of Nigeria Air, said some of his team members are in Europe purchasing aircraft or whatever, leasing or anything, but they are procuring aircraft. Now, some of them are also in another part of the country putting other things together, which he didn't mention anyway. But we understand it's a process. Like I said, it's not something you just sit in the office and you execute. There are things that you must put in place. Recruitment will come. All these things will happen for you to have a fully operational Nigerian Air, both physically, the structure, the plane flying, and all this. But with this, I can say that we are moving. We're moving. It's a matter of time.
You know,
And I
when you say we
strongly
are
believe-
moving, I'm beginning to find it difficult to understand all of this because the minister said by April we will have Nigeria Air in the skies. He had made other promises that failed. April failed. And now you're talking about the third stage that we are in now. And you said, I'm quoting you, there is nothing to celebrate about. That at this stage, there is nothing to celebrate about. In fact, you are even reprimanding me for celebrating.
No, no.
You said
See.
there is nothing to celebrate about. So, the question I want to ask you right now is, are we likely to have a Nigeria Air in the skies before the expiry of the next 12 months?
Yeah.
Because the next 12 months,
This particular government would have been expired.
yeah.
Let's use the word expired.
So,
Now,
will President Buhari have the glory of reviving a national carrier?
now that's what I was trying to tell you. These are processes. And now, from the look of things,
AGK, you are
You know,
speaking like a politician.
I
Let's
don't-
forget about
yes,
politics
I have
here.
to be clear to you because I don't want to make, I'm not the one running the show
Okay.
and I cannot make commitment for them. But I'm also being careful because this thing, remember, this whole process started 4 years ago. When we went to London,
So you can understand the reason for concern now.
and that is why you should understand why I say you should not jubilate. Because when we went to London and the minister went and launched the name Nigeria Air and a logo in London in one of the airplanes
Were you there?
conference. No, I was not there present.
Okay.
But we as in Nigeria, when Nigeria went to London
Okay.
and made that thing, that was where the man told the world that Nigeria Air is coming. There was a logo, there is a name already. Meanwhile, back home, there was no preparations for that.
I remember there
And-
was an announcement once that Nigeria will start to assemble airplanes.
Yeah. So, and you don't come back, people started attacking from different angles. Why do you have to jump a particular stage? That announcement would have come after all these things must have been done. when you're serious about your business, if it's a personal, you're opening a shop. I expect that before you start telling people that I have opened or I'm opening a shop, or you start telling people the name of my shop is Case Harmon International, you should have had a place where the shop will be located and possibly access to goods, even if you have not bought the goods. There should be preparations before you now start telling people that Case International is opening or is coming or is here. But the minister went for it and announced to the world Nigeria Air is coming and this is the logo and all this is. And there was no preparations. So you're now racing against time because you've made a mistake. So he's trying to manage the mistake. And that's why we dragged to this time that we are now. We are even lucky. Had it been he was not reappointed as a minister, what was the fate? What was the how would we have achieved this thing? And now this particular tenure is going to expire in the next 11, 12 months. What is the assurance? I cannot tell you that we are sure. Because when we try to force them to say something, they refuse to say. So we cannot say for sure. But all we can say is that they are moving. Hopefully before September, of course, they can achieve it. They can achieve it, depending on how prepared they are. We are not, like I used to say about this thing, we are not being told everything about it. Nigeria.
We can say a date is sacrosanct because there is no date in the first
There's
place.
no date. Yes.
But what is even more concerning is, you know, that name, Nigeria Air. It's a huge brand.
Yeah.
We are talking about a national carrier here, but that's what it's meant to be,
Yes.
a national carrier.
Yes.
And if you say a national carrier does not have an office, or you don't know the office, this is the implication. If I say I don't know the office of the national carrier, that is Nigeria Air, it stands to reason. You, AGK, are an authority when it comes to these issues because these are your people. You report them, you follow them
Yeah.
like they will say white on rice.
Yes.
So it's like you are bound to them. And if you who is
Who
bound,
should know?
yeah, who should know? Tell me you don't know the office of Nigeria Air. What are we talking about here?
You know why I said I don't know. In case we're using a room in a minister's
No,
office.
this national carrier can't be a room.
No,
Forget
no,
about that
no.
room. There must
Mr.
be an office.
There's
In fact, we'll talk
for
about
now, for
it.
now.
Nigeria Air,
No,
Nigeria's
see.
Air's office. We are going to. We should be talking about a complex.
Now we need to understand something. For now, I can say it that they don't have an office yet. It doesn't mean they cannot get office within 1 month and fix it up. It's all about the money. There are government structures everywhere. You can just convert one to an office and brand the name, and the staff will move into the building. That is not a problem. That's not a problem. We should get it clear. They can operate from the hotel for now. Maybe they are trying to avoid paying rent and all this things when they are not fully ready. So we should understand, okay, it's in the process. But what we should be focusing on is the stages that you're talking about now, how far have we gone with it? The planes, the say some people are in Europe, Pucore, or I or whatever, this, how far have we gone with it? So you say they were looking at 3 or thereabouts. Is it true? And then, okay, are the planes going to come in next month, next 2 months, next 3 months? Is it an order? Because if you're buying a new plane, you place an order. You
No,
don't-
let's put things into perspective.
Yeah.
We can't get a new plane right now.
Of course we can.
You know how much a plane costs. A brand new
We're
jet.
talking about Nigeria Air. Nigeria Air is a thing of pride.
Yes,
Just
it is.
like
It's
the
a thing of pride.
Yeah,
So
just like so. It's
You-
all
no,
about
no,
priority. It's all about
listen,
priority.
listen, Ejike. It's all about priority, but
Yeah.
not. It's just not. It's not all just about priority. It's also about capacity.
No, the only angle you tell me is that you
A jet right now, a brand new jet, costs something in the neighborhood of $120 million.
depending anyway.
Yes.
It depends.
We're not talking about private jets that people buy, some of our people buy for 70 million, 75 million, 80 million. We're talking about a jetliner. We're talking about a commercial aircraft,
Let me tell you, Mr. Case.
maybe a jumbo jet.
Mr. Case, let me tell you. Even if the plane is $3 billion, $2 million, $3 million, and Nigeria said this is what we want to target. We have a lot of money in this country. Nigeria says this is what we want to focus on now. We want to get an airline. We need 5 planes. We do. The only challenge is that you cannot go and buy it from the shelf. You need to understand. You place an order. If it's a new one, you place an order.
Another thing we need
and
to
the
take into
manufacturer-
consideration is this: when you place an order, it takes time
That's what
to
I'm trying to
manufacture.
say.
So
That's what I'm trying to say. It takes time. If you place an order, they manufacture it. It takes time. So, well, I'm coming to somewhere. When you say you are now in Europe trying to get planes, and 4 years ago you announced the name and the logo, and you don't place orders, then it's now that you're going to Europe. So automatically you're coming back with a what Nigeria will call Tokumbo.
exactly,
Yes, that's
exactly.
the fact. Because
And
if you're
how
going to have-
Tokumbo is this Tokumbo?
if you're
is
going
another
to
thing.
have an aircraft within this year, it has to be Tokumbo. Because you have not placed order, you've not manufactured.
For the purpose of our international viewers,
Yeah,
we're
Tokumbo
talking
is
about
just like
Tokumbo
a
is used airlines,
used airline,
Yes.
used planes,
Used planes.
So
second hand.
second-hand plane.
Yes.
Yeah, they may not understand second, but at least use the airline. The one that other people have been using and start to sell to you.
Exactly.
So I think that's the best they can go for now. They just patch it up and rebrand it. They start up the airline. Initially, remember this whole process is a PPP arrangement. We should also understand that private persons or companies, organizations own 51%.
Yes.
So, which means if you have a Dangote, for example, or Elon Musk, or Bill Gates, and they are interested, you can bring in the money. So, it's not a big deal. It's all about, I still feel that enough preparations were not made before the announcement. And that is why we're under pressure as a country to have this airline. Because we jumped the gun. We started announcing, and we've not started arrangements. Now we are doing the arrangements, and already the names are there, and people are counting down to you. And this is just one of the major things in the roadmap of the current Minister of Aviation, Hadi Serika. He had this when he came in, he had this roadmap that he wants to work on, and our national carrier is one of them. He's pursuing it. Second runway for the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. It's also part of the roadmap. He's also pursuing that one. So a lot of things are going on, but for now, this is where we are.
AGK. Time is almost up,
Okay.
but I want you to say something. And your integrity on the line as you are saying it.
Okay.
Considering the situation of things, where we are with this Nigeria Air, and considering that we are in the next 12 months is 12 months of politics, or maybe say 11 months will be all about, no, let me not say all, but mostly about politicking. And when we talk about politicking, we are talking about investment also. Investments. So talking about politicking and investment, and of course, people when elections are imminent or when elections are approaching, people want to see which government is going to win and rise to power, and they want to know the body language of that government before making investment decisions.
Yeah.
Having said that, do you believe we are going to have a Nigeria Air to the glory or to the credit, not to the glory, to the credit of President Muhammadu Buhari
Yeah, it's possible.
in the next 12 months?
It's possible because just like you said,
Explain.
just like you said, when when a government is, in a particular regime is ending, there is always this idea of, let me finish up and have something I will hand over. So for that reason, the Minister of Aviation and the President can work together, and they will ensure that this airline starts operation, even if it's ending of this year or January, February next. As soon as it starts flying, and there is a plane, Nigeria Air, and it starts flying, they will hand over to the next government to perfect this. So it's not a big deal. Like I said, it's not a big deal. They can actually do it. The major problem they had is that they did not start it on time. And they started and they were not sincere about it, giving us date over date. And they were not prepared. You didn't even have the certificate and you were giving us date before. So how can you achieve that?
So the next 2 stages.
We hope, that's what I said, the procuring and everything. Let's hope that within now and July, September, they should be able to bring the plane.
Educate. There is a word that you used in your story, the story you wrote for leadership, which I want to order. You talked about ATL, which is the air transport license, and then you talked about AOC, air operators certificate.
Yeah, that is another certificate they will get.
Is that another stage?
That's another stage. So I didn't want to bore you with the terminology.
No, let's bore you with the terminology.
No, see, air operators certificate or is another certification that will come. But why I don't want to be using those terms is that I wanted you to understand that they will need to buy plane. Let us understand the basic thing. They will need to bring plane, fix up the whole thing before they fly. These are just certifications. So that's another certificate they will get after this one. AOC, after 8 years.
Well, if it took this long to get ATL,
no, that's
that is air transport license.
And the next one, it may not take, it may be July, it may be August.
You're sticking your neck out for people.
Yes, because I know if they bring in this plane and they fix up some of the things that NCA asked them to do, they will give them that certificate.
Your statements are still iffy.
If I'm not part of them, I cannot be saying for them. I cannot be speaking for them. If you want somebody that will give you
technically, you are part of them.
No. If you want somebody that will give you the definite answer, go and bring Nigeria Air person here to speak to you. But I'm telling you, because I can't say when. Am I part of them? Do I know what they are doing? I'm not part of their meetings. I only go and cover them and I go away.
Nigerians, there you are. You have listened to Ejike, our transportation aficionado. Whatever he has said, well, he has said it. I didn't say anything. I only interviewed him. So, Ejike, thank you for coming again on this program. We want to draw the curtain here, but we can only hope for now, based on all that you have said. You haven't said anything that should make us to be that positive that we are going to have Nigeria Air over the next 12 months. However, you are saying there is hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope that there is hope. Thanks for being with us again. We'll see next week by the time we are having another edition of Transportation Focus.
Yes.
We want to say thank you also to our producers, but our biggest thanks go to you who follow us on this program loyally. Until we meet for another edition of Morning Radio on Monday, which will be the national economy segment of the program, I've been your host, Case Hammond, and until then, just stay blessed, stay calm, and stay safe. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.